We're going to be doing an install on our 2020 and up Sierra 2500, 3500 mud flap deletes. So these are a must on any Sierra if you're going to run larger tires or negative offset wheels. So we've got a 24 behind us up here on the lift. You can see how much these things hang down in the front right here. So we are going to replace this factory mud flap. And then in the rear, we have a front and rear as well that hang down and don't look great. So the tire clearance is mainly going to be gained up front. But it's also going to look a heck of a lot better in the rear. We've got two different kits. Both are going to come with all 6 mud flaps. The only difference is one is going to be a cut version in the front where we're going to cut a little bit of metal out for the max clearance. And the other is a no cut version that's just going to hang down a little bit lower, not require you to cut anything, but still pick up a bunch of tire clearance compared to factory. Jumping right into the install, we're going to be using a Torx 15, and if you have an electric small ratchet, highly recommend one. It's a lot of these little Torx 15 screws. So we'll jump right into taking this front one off here. We're going to have 1, 2, 3 on top and then 2 in the back. So after you have the factory flap off, these are our cut templates. So I'm going to cut these out of the paper here. There's 2 for the driver's side, 2 for the passenger side. And then I'll cut this next one out. With the factory flap removed, we have 2 templates that we got cut out. This is what I'm going to call the metal cutting template, and the other one's going to be the liner cutting template. So once you have this shape, this is the passenger front here. The little hoop right here is going to index. There's a raised section of the body. And then back here, these 2 bolts are going to line up with those 2 bolts. So I can kind of hold this in place and then come in here and Sharpie my line right there, and we're gonna go here. And so that's gonna give us the line, and we're gonna cut all of this out where I'm putting X's all the way to the back in here. So we line it up and press these 2 onto the 2 bolt holes and then pull it tight. The top indexes around this raised section of the body. And then you're just going to Sharpie trace the line. And then I added some X's where I'm going to cut. These are the 2 bolts that indicate where these 2 holes line up. So those 2 bolts, these 2 holes, and then that'll get it close. The top sits in this like kind of raised area of the body right here. So I'm just going to use an oscillating multi-tool to do this, but you can do this with a Dremel or like a little Sawzall or jigsaw. And so I'm just going to start at the back and work my way up and out of here. And that's what our piece looks like removed. And you can see all the additional clearance we're going to pick up once we cut our fender liner. This is the template for the liner itself. So we've got it cut out, and the holes on here are going to be the first and second hole on the inside on the liner here. And then this corner is going to index basically with where that goes. So we can put it in here and kind of see where it lands. And it's not perfect. Doesn't have to be, but this will give us a good idea of how to trace the liner. Mark on that. And then you can use snips or whatever you have to just work your way around here. Like so. And so now we have that cut made. So before we paint any of this, and we want to test fit it real quick and do a dry fit, which I'm really close. It's almost going on. I can feel it binding up in here. So what I looked at, took it off, and I could see I'm scratching the inside of the plastic right beneath where this hole is. So that's going to be this corner. So I just need to cut a little bit more out of there. I might have just missed it on the template. Okay. Test fit again. And it fits really nicely this time, as you can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some paint and paint all that so it doesn't rust. We can take our clip from the factory one, slide it in here. And then I think I felt a cage nut fall off. Nope, I did not. So I'm gonna guide this clip in with my hand as I get the install going. Clip it in. Get our screws started. And we're only going to reuse 4 of the 5 screws since we chopped off where the middle screw went. The cut install right there, and you can see all that additional clearance we got by making that trim. Under the rear, still going with the Torx 15. 2 on the front side, and then 3 on the inside. The rears don't have that clip. There's just one tab right here. And for the front rear on the passenger side here, it's going to be AI 3611. The way to differentiate these, the ones with 2 tabs are the rear of the truck, and then the one with 1 tab is the front of the rear. So it's going to be that same tab clicks in. We'll start reinstalling our screws. So finally, same thing, just a reverse 2 on the rear, and then 3 on the inside. We're gonna clip it in like so. Get our cage nut into position on the rear here. We got the no-cut versions installed. Wanted to give you a quick overview. So this is what we ditched on the front and replaced it with the much lower profile S&B unit. And then in the rear, this was our factory flap. You can see the improvement there. And then the same thing behind the tire as well. So repeat the process on the other side, it's identical. After we got all the rears done, you can see the difference. So this is the factory front, hugs the inside of the wheel well, hangs down, really bulky. The S&B cut version has that nice taper for additional tire clearance and is low profile. And then looking back here at the rears, you can see the difference in profile on the front rear, and it's identical on the rear as well. For watching our mud flap delete install, let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.